Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be a Piper Plate build for Hall of Fame Ray with progression builds. So we're going to start small and build big. We're going to start off with a 20% gem damage strap and Fury 1s with the Piper Plate, and we're going to move up from there. If you didn't know, Ray's Hall of Fame silver gear, which is extremely important to running him. In fact, the gold gear, you only need one gear. I shouldn't say silver or gold. The way gears work, if you get the one gear, you get the first buff. Second gear, you get the second buff. Third gear, you get the third buff, so on, right? So all you care about is the first buff. On the MLC midweek prize wall, very affordable is Ray's silver gear. So if you don't get to a different item that you want, let's say like the Bloodline Moment, that's like 12,000 and change. This would be a very good option, especially if Ray is going to be your best showboat with the Piper Plate. So don't forget that that's there. And 5,000 currency should completely be obtainable for free for anyone engaged in the MLC with a faction that's finishing their stuff. You should be able to get to 5K and get this gear. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, it is a 20% strap, Fury 1s. We have the Piper Plate. Whenever you make 4 more Pyro Gems, increase all of your gem damage by 100% and your yellow for 500 for 600 total. And then we have the whenever you break 3 or more yellow gems, make 7 purple into blue at the end of your turn. You could also use, I believe it's Thugonomics, which is yellow into blue if you want to recycle. I'm trying to get a little bit more damage potentially, pick up potential missed Pyro Gems, things like that. Entourage for this one will be loaded turn 1 in feud if you have the silver gear, or 1 gear. His second gear does no difference for any of his good movesets. It's kind of worthless in my opinion at this point. Lawler for 4 MP, Kofi for 4 MP, Strowman for 30% yellow gem damage, and Tama Tonga for 3 more Pyro Gems. Moves are, we're only using 2 of them. The West Coast Pop is there to bail you out if the board doesn't cooperate. I'll show you what I mean if it happens. Diving Hurricane Rana, 223k damage, make 20 random gems into Pyro. Of course, you know what Pyro does. It's also hardcore, so if opponent's Striker, you first steal 3 million health. That's not terrible, actually. It's a bonus when you have it. Mysterio Kinrana, 189k damage, choose 7 gems to make into yellow. Really straightforward. So yeah, let's get out here, show you what this looks like. We're trying to get the Piper Plate twice with this one. So if you don't have Brawn Breaker, you don't really want to use you can't really use the multiply gems and stuff. So this whole thing, we're just trying to get the Piper Plate to proc twice and see if that does enough damage to win for you. Go ahead and throw your doodaddies out. And then you need to set up a row break on the bottom. And this board and where the stuff went is highly uncooperative. So this might be an example like I was talking about. You can see now we need to charge 6 more yellow MP with 4 yellow gems. Board has not been... Actually, I have set up a cascade there, did I? No, we're good. Okay. Board has not been cooperative, because we can get one there. Oh, no, we can get it here. It's a bit risky, very risky, because 2 blacks here, 2 purples here, but it is what it is. I'll probably cascade like that. But you can see the plate might end up bailing us out. Yeah, 12. We did 12 million, so not really. Would have been 24 million at gold. But that's an accident happening, potentially. So that's something to be aware about with this build set. Basically, the better stuff you get Ray, the faster, safer it makes him. Because he can still hit extremely hard this way. And you'll see if I don't cascade. And the finisher is also there because I could have just easily have hit the... Just went, instead of setting up a row break, hit the finisher, and then had 2 turns of stun. That's why the finisher's there in this build set. It's more of a break in case of emergency kind of thing. Also, potentially, if you had Powerhouse Hogan, you could add him for where Braun or Tama is. I would recommend for where Braun is. Or if you had Hall of Fame Booker T, or if you had Zombie Steamboat. Then you have more gems to choose and it gets a lot easier. But that's probably not going to be the case for this build that we're currently doing. So, okay. 3 and 3. This is a little bit safer looking. You set up a row break on the bottom with your choose, and then you fill. And see, so like when it's filled, you could hit your finisher if you were like worried and have 2 turns of stun. They are going to mess up your board a little bit, though. But Tama lets us basically get the entire board short of 3 gems, so most of the time your row break is going to work out. We have 2 procs of the Piper Plate. Take a swipe, and this is going to hit extremely hard. Little bit of extra damage there. 23 million, it would be 46 million at gold. With a basic setup like that, right? It's pretty good. What's next? So what if you have Brawn Breaker and only a 20% strap? That's a great question, Mherex. What does that look like? That makes it safer. As I said, as you add nicer stuff, it gets safer. Damage goes up a little bit, for sure. But the big thing is it gets safer and faster. So now, if you have Brawn Breaker, we're going to keep the 20% strap on. And put the multiply gem on 7 MP purple. 186 damage, make 22 random gems into multiply of strength 4. We're going to go here and put you on. We're still using Braun Strowman. You could use Mherex, you could use Hitman Bret Hart, etc. Everything else is basically the same, except now we don't have to charge the Piper Plate a second time, because we have these multiply gems to break. So this is much simpler, much safer. And what I've found generally is the easiest thing to do is just make 2 row breaks when possible, to keep it simple and keep you from, you know, cascading, things like that, on these 2 rows. In this case, it's not, but it's fine, really. You can see this row gets all of it for us except this column and this column. So we would want to try and do this. And we should get just about everything. For 29 million damage at silver, 60 million at gold. With a 20% strap in Fury 1s. And just the Piper Plate. Okay? Now we're going to move it up to a 50% strap, and we're going to add a Nightmare Plate. That adds, if you didn't know, when you make multiply gems, 100% to your yellow gem damage. Basically, it just keeps it more consistent, more safe as you're adding nice stuff. So if your pyro gems don't cooperate, that kind of thing, you don't hit quite as hard, obviously, as when they do, but you're hitting harder than you were before. So a bad hit with this setup is probably what we just hit with that setup. Kind of thing, maybe a little bit less, and then an average hit is slightly higher than we hit with that set, probably. Nightmare Plate, make 6 or more multiply gems, increase your yellow gem damage by 100%. We've now moved to a 50% strap, and we have moved to Fury 2s. Also, I'm going to go ahead at this point and toss Hitman on. If you don't know what Hitman does, you could use Mherex too. I think at gold, this will probably scale better. It's 35% yellow gem damage and 35% multiply gem damage for 70%. Mherex does add 1 to all, but you're breaking a lot of yellow gems with the Piper Plate. I would have to really test it. You could make a case that Bret is just as rare as Mem at this point. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, either or will work fine. Both, it's probably very close in damage. Could also use potentially Gunther for 60%, but I don't think he would be as good, for sure, because you're missing out on all the yellows you break. So anyway, order doesn't matter on the multiplies or the Piper Plate. You can do it any order you want. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so this one is usually... So this one is not cooperative with the board at all, which is nice. We have the stuff to... We're going to do 3 here. And I guess... No, we're not. We're going to do a row break here. And that gives us everything on the bottom already. So let's do this. Actually, we missed this column. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, that's better. No, I don't want to. Let's just do that. Sure. That was what, 27 million for 54 when we missed a ton of multiplies. That's why having the nicer stuff is really good, because when it doesn't cooperate, you still have a way to be bailed out, right? And also, Tamatonga really reduces the potential for that, because you're basically almost filling the whole board between multiplies and pyros, so he really helps the variance. This should be really good. Looking at how the multiplies set up, this is probably going to be... Bruh. I should not talk. Why do I open my mouth? Anyway. We're going to do a row break. 2, 3, 4... We're going to do that. Much better. 37 million. So that would be, what, 74 million at gold? And we still haven't hit what I would call like a perfect hit with this one. So what does it look like with 100% strap? I'm sure people are curious. So let's do that. And then we'll call that a progression video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these kind of Piper Plate videos. This should help you decide if Ray is your guy to put your Piper Plate on. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have maybe some of the very, very tippy-top showboats. Maybe you don't have Regal, Rex, Regum, Showboat Seth, Vader, those kind of guys. Ray with the Piper Plate in one gear, especially with Braun Breaker, is maybe your guy, you know? So yeah, definitely... Oh, I put armor on like a scrub. Definitely let me know if you guys are enjoying these progression Piper Plate videos. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm trying to get a ton of people in this month with Piper Plates so you guys can make good choices and decide where you want to put your Piper Plate. People always ask what is my favorite spot for it. My favorite spot actually is Rex Regum, but he's super rare. Second would probably be Technician Charlotte Flair. Those are probably my top 2 favorite spots. I also love it on Maxine. Those would be my top 2 ladies for sure, Charlotte Flair and Maxine. We got everything changed over. Regal, of course, is one a ton of people will say. For sure. It's really good on Ilya Dragunov. If you got him, he may not need it, but it's really good on him. Zombie Sammy, with assuming you have Roxanne, are some of my favorite spots for it. So this is Butamus. This is what you want to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row break. And let's just do that. Look at that. That's a perfect one. 41 million, 82 million. That would be the perfect board. So 41 million, 82 million, we got every multiply, and I think every one was yellow. That's exactly what you, or very nearly, that's exactly what you're hoping for a perfect hit. That's 82 million with 100% strap at gold, 41 million at silver. I think that's a good way to end it. I think that's pretty good progression for Ray. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you're enjoying the Piper videos this month. Also, I'm kind of playing around with the idea of maybe theming some content around plates some months. So like maybe one month I do a bunch of videos showcasing All Heart or Dog Ear Gremlin plate or LA Night plate or things like that with people that they're good on, like I think they're good on, like game changing on. Is that something you guys think would be interesting or cool? Is that something you want to see out of me? Because I could maybe do that. Like one month I do a bunch of builds on this plate and people I like it on. You know, the next month it's a different plate. I don't know, it's just an idea I had. Let me know what you think in the comments, and remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck out there. Mherex is super underrated, man.